Today, we're breaking down a long shootout, sequence experiment, built entirely through controlled rendering techniques, using Seedance 2.0 in free mode. No shortcuts, just iteration and patience. In this sequence, the goal is simple: maintain continuity, preserve identity, and push dynamic motion without losing realism. There are two main approaches tested here: start frame only and start end frame mode. Let's begin with start frame only. We begin from a single mid-air combat frame. The character is already falling. The environment is locked. Identity must remain consistent. From second 0 to 2, both the character and the boss continue falling. No artificial motion. No exaggerated physics. Just gravity. Pulling everything down. The character fires a final burst. The boss reacts, but does not fly unrealistically. Everything stays grounded. Then from second 2 to 3, a rope ladder drops in from above. Fast, heavy. You can feel the tension in the rope. It sways naturally from rotor wash from second 3 to 5. The character twists mid-air, reaches, grabs, no magnetic pull, no float, just momentum. That swing is critical. It sells the realism. From second 5 to 7, the helicopter lifts, the rope tightens, clothing reacts to wind, the character is pulled upward. Meanwhile, the boss disappears into depth below. Then, from second 7 to 9, we transition into a God view, a full-scale reveal. The city below, filled with movement, dense, overrun, no close-ups, just scale. And finally, from second 9 to 10, the helicopter clears the skyline. Camera pulls back, no freeze, no fade, cut on motion. That is start frame only. Pure continuation from a single image. Now, let's move to start end frame mode. Here, we define both the beginning and the destination. Inside a large open exhibition hall. Wide space, clean geometry, full visibility. The character runs forward. Dual pistols. Every shot matters. Each bullet lands. Each target drops. No repetition, no wasted motion. The choreography emerges naturally. Target to target. Flow to flow. Camera tracks forward. Subtle handheld motion. No orbit, no slow motion. Everything stays readable, controlled, consistent. This is where start-end mode shines. You guide the structure, but let the motion evolve. Now about access. This entire experiment runs on free mode. Using this platform, videoinu.com/app/generator/video access is open, but timing varies. Sometimes you need to wait. Sometimes the queue is long. The key is simple. Keep submitting jobs. Once you see job in queue, you're in. After that, you wait and collect your renders. Iteration is part of the process, not a limitation. Try multiple runs, refine prompts, lock consistency. That's how you get usable sequences, and that's how this experiment was built. Alright, from this point onward, we're inside the platform. I'll walk through the key steps while setting up the render. First, right here, this is where we define our generation mode. For this test, we are focusing on Seedance 2.0 in free mode. Now I'm scrolling down to look at the complete outputs on this platform. Here are a few key things to notice. I'm using the Seedance 2.0 free model. Other settings are kept simple and consistent. Auto aspect ratio is enabled. Audio can be used if you want to render with sound. Duration here is set to around 10 seconds. Resolution is set to 700x20 for faster turnaround. And over here, we have the edit option. This is very useful. If you want to adjust the prompt or rerun the same setup, you can just click edit, especially in free mode. When there is heavy traffic, sometimes your job won't enter the queue immediately. So what I usually do is use edit and submit again. Run a few iterations until you see the status change to job in queue. That's when you know the system has accepted your render. Also important to note, free mode does support start-end frames, so you can experiment with both modes. without needing paid access. Now I'll scroll through the prompt for a bit, just to give you an overview of how the sequence is structured. You'll notice it's divided by time segments, each one controlling a specific part of the motion. All right. Now let's move on to the outputs. We'll start with the start frame only result. This clip runs for about 10 seconds. Pay attention to continuity and how the motion evolves from a single frame. After that, we'll look at the start end frame output. This one is shorter, around 5 seconds. Notice how the motion becomes more directed, because the end state is already defined. And finally, we'll look at another start end example, around 7 seconds. Here you can observe how the model handles transition across a slightly longer sequence. Just focus on consistency, motion flow, and how well the scene holds together. All right, let's take a look. If you're exploring long-form action or cinematic sequence control, this is a powerful approach to test. Thanks for watching, and enjoy experimenting with Seedance 2.0 free mode. Before we wrap up, in the next clip I'll go deeper into specific cases, breaking things down, step by step, looking at how different types of scenes behave across multiple scales of motion and composition. We'll be focusing on detailed analysis, case by case, from small motion control all the way to large-scale cinematic sequences, especially how Seedance 2.0 handles multi-scale scene rendering and how to guide it more precisely. And right after this, I'll show another example. A single command, driving an entire wuxia combat scene within one render. Pay attention to how the motion propagates, how the environment reacts, and how the sequence holds together as a complete moment. If you're interested in pushing cinematic control further, stay tuned. There's a lot more to explore.
滚开！